Okay, this is Hutch from NC-20053. Today we'll be giving you the Swiss seat. This is a rappelling seat. This is what you'll be using to cross the rope bridge. Now, for some of you, this will be, for especially guys, this will be kind of a painful seat. It goes in between your legs. We'll go into that in a second. And like I said, but the thing is, if you don't tie this knot right, it's a safety hazard, number one. And two, you're going to be hanging by something you don't want to be hanging by. So, I'm trying to do it step by step where you can see me the best way. This is just, it's going to go all around your waist and all that, so it's going to be really hard for you to see it up close. Most of the time, what I do first, try to get the knot or the rope at least about even length. Tuck it to your right side and bring it around. So now I have it on both sides, right? Now, let's cross it like it's kind of like the square knot, except it's going to be, you're going to loop it twice. You got that left over your right, you're going to loop this in twice. So really, it's going to be looking like this. Now, after you've looped it twice, you're going to pull it to your waist, and you want this knot to be tight. Have it around your waist as tight as you can. Now, here comes the fun part. You tuck it in between your legs and back around your butt cheek. So, it's going to grab your private place. It's going to be around your butt cheek. You don't want it in the middle of your butt crack. You want it to come up like it's supporting your butt. Now I've got it in between my legs. I'm going to tuck it down through this one on my side and back. What I mean by back is you don't want it in front. By in front, I mean in front of this one supporting your butt. You want it down and back. And you're going to do that on both sides. So yet again, down and back. Most of the time when you're in uniform, I suggest you tuck in your shirt so you don't rip it or anything. Now that you've got it down and back on both sides, this is where it really gets fun. This is where you're going to pull to make it tight. So I've seen some teams, they'll take it over their shoulder and they'll pull it. For me, I prefer to squat and pull it. So squat, pull it as tight as you can, right? Now you're really feeling it, but you're going to actually appreciate it when you're doing this one rope bridge, because if it's not tight, you're going to be hanging further from the rope and it's going to hurt more. So now, you've got it tight. Now you're going to try to tie a square knot to the left side of your seat. That's normally where I try to tie it. But yet again, if you don't know square knot, go back and look at the video. So, left over right. Now, if you don't have someone putting a finger there, someone to help you out, what I do to keep it tight is I'll bend over. So now, I can kind of keep a little bit tighter to keep that square knot from losing any tension. Right over left. So now, square knot is on my left side. Now, security knot. Some judges have given us a lot of stuff for this. I've seen a few judges do it differently. When you do this knot, I bring it up through the top part of that seat, the one you just made the square knot with, and down through the hole. So, up through and down through the little loop you're making when you do it. Like I said, this is something that's going to take a few runs to get it. Now, if I had my BDU, ABU, ACU, whatever you want to call them, pants on, you tuck in the excess in your pockets. So this is really what the Swiss seat looks like. I try to do the best I can to go through it step by step again. And I'll try to do a little bit of zoom up. So okay, so like I said, try to get about as even as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect, just enough to where you can really bring it to your left side. Some people do it right. The way we were taught, we do it left. So you got about even length around your waist. Left on top, loop it twice. Right? Pull. So now it's really tight on my waist. Through the legs. Around the butt cheek where it's supporting, right? Down. See, down. This would be forward. We're going down and back. So that way when I squat, it's on this side. And you're going to do that on both sides. So, down and back. You You don't want it forward. It's gonna be a lot worse. So now I've got it down and back. Now I squat and pull and get as tight as I can. So now I go to my left side and tie a square knot. Like I said, if someone's here, sometimes they might put their little finger on that thing so you can keep it tight. But I bend over a little bit, so it just keeps the tension there naturally. So now I've got a square knot on my side. For security, sometimes if you have a small rope, you might not have enough for a security knot. But you see, I bring it up through this top one, and that little loop I'm making right here, we go down through that loop on both sides. This one's a little bit better example. Come up from the bottom through that loop, or that little top knot, and go down. If I have any excess left now, it's going to go in my pocket. So that's the best way I can show you the Swiss seat. It's better if you do it hands-on. It is a support feature. If I had a D-ring, which I do not at this moment, you clip it facing you, and you're going to spin it around so the clip gate is on top. I'll give you another visual of that in a second. Switch the frame so you can see where I actually have a D-ring. Okay, now that I've got a D-ring, I'm going to show you how to clip this. You're going to clip it through both ropes, and you want this clip to be facing you. When you clip it through both ropes, what you're going to do is spin it around so this clip is now on top. Now if you have this clip on bottom, you're not going to have too great of tension when you're crossing. So you want this clip to be facing the top so you can just come up, clip yourself on the rope, and go. And that's where you clip the Swiss seat. Okay, the Australian seat, this is for the first person to go across the river and the one who's going to tear all the rope bridge down at the end. This one feels a lot better because this one you're not going to be putting in certain spots. You know how I had it equal length, now you're just going to keep the whole rope. You're basically just going to make a square knot with a double coiled rope. And then, now that I've got a square knot, I'm just going to do the security knot on both sides. So be up, down through with the loops and all that. And then after you got that, you're just going to spin it around to the back. You're going to do the same thing with the clip. And that's the Australian seat. Feels a lot better. It doesn't go through anything. Basically, it's just a double coiled square knot with your security knots. So then when I would go, I'd clip the bow line right here and run. And that's how I get across the river. And that's the Australian seat.